So now we're going to transfer this into pattern, okay? So I don't want anybody, I know that we've been doing this before. Let me make sure that the notches are matching. Where's the pin? Before I take the pins off, just to make sure. Okay? And I don't want anybody to give me half a pattern cut on fold, because the batting is way too thick to cut it on fold. There is no way for you to be able to put it in the exact fold and get an accurate size. It's gonna be either too big or too small. So we need to have the center front as one single pattern piece. When you, remember I started with a hair and a hair makes a whole wig, right? We want to be as accurate as possible because we want to maintain the exact fit that we did on the draping. So my line numbers are matching. I'm going to fold my paper in half, following the lines. That would be my grain line, correct? I'm going to place this exactly on the fold. I'm going to tell you a little secret of mine. See, I like to see a hair of paper. I don't know if you guys can see it. You know why I do that?
Yeah.
Because of the fold of the fabric has a thickness and the fold of the paper has another. So it's just like a weird, retentive issue that I have. So I leave a hair, but it's really a hair, okay? Not a curly one. Don't tell me my hair is curly, that's why it's big, okay? So I'm gonna pin, because I don't want it to move, obviously. And we're gonna get the pizza cutter. I took it out here. And we're gonna transfer this pattern into paper. Try to be as precise as you can. By the way, we're gonna have notches just to make sure that the pattern fits properly, but on these cups you do not do notches. This is just for fit. Okay? Pretty? Can you see it? Okay. So now I'm going to clean up my lines again, like we did before. You always 90 degrees from the fold, just a little bit, okay? I have a little 90 degrees here. I have a little 90 degrees here, okay? And the rest is the curve. And keep moving your ruler until you find the right angle. Okay, and here, here, and here. Should I cut it? No, because if I need to make corrections, I wouldn't have paper around it and I will have to do it again. So leave it alone. Let's do the other side. So I'm gonna get a piece of paper, okay? And this side, I'm actually gonna do it differently because it's not on the fold. First thing I'm gonna draw is the grain line. And then I'm gonna place the grain line. Let's use a white piece of paper because we can see better through the dark side of the table, our lines. See that it shows better? So I place it exactly on the grain line. First thing I do is place it on the grain line, okay? Now I'm going to pin it so it doesn't move. Who hasn't done your 10 steps today? 10,000 steps today? Okay, we're gonna walk it again, so we'll make up for it. Okay? So, it worked. So I should have put it on top and do this with a tracing wheel. I don't know why I put it underneath. You can trace it if you want to, right? But
yeah, but you wouldn't have been able to see the grain line.
yeah, you can see it because the grain line is bigger than the line. See, Sarah agrees with me.
Betrayal.
She has no choice. By the way, I personally save my drapings forever with my pattern. Because if there is any problem, I can go back to the source and figure out where the problem came from. If I throw it away, it will disappear. So now I'm going to clean my lines. And by the way, you can clean everything. Walter knows about it. He knows that if he goes walk, he waits in the bathroom for you to be wiped. If not, he doesn't get a cookie. Okay? So again, I'm not gonna cut it because I'm actually going to walk it again. So I go back here, I match my lines. This is the first thing that I wanna look. See how soft and rounded my neckline is? Pretty? Yes? My notches are a tiny bit off. I'll be able to fix that. And now I'm gonna start walking. See, this notch is a little bit off. So it's easier to correct the one on top than the one in the bottom. This one too. And the bottom still needs to be cleaned. So let me show you this. Right now, it looks like it has a little corner, right? So I'm gonna get the ruler and I'm going to blend it in nicely at the bottom. So I'm going to transfer that into the paper underneath. All right, I got no eraser. Somebody gave me daisies. So now I have the pattern of the bust cuffs.
Wait, what did you mean by like that you had a corner before? Because this is still like a corner.
No, right now it doesn't make a corner. It actually blends in soft. See? See how it blends?
Oh, okay.
So to the batting, you do not do any notches, but I do keep them on the pattern as a reference. So I'm going to mark on the other side. So this is the front. See, by squaring it off, look at how nicely smooth it connects, right? We're gonna give it a grain line. We're gonna call it center front bust cup. Okay, we're gonna cut only one because you guys are gonna do a cutter's must here too. And this is a size 8. And you're gonna put your name on it.
And how do you know which side is the top and which one is the bottom?
Usually the bottom is narrower. So if you want to look at it, look at how it fits nicely. The top is wider. If I gave you too much batting, save it because you need one for the 12 and one for the real garment. And if the 12 turns out okay and you don't do any corrections, because we still can do corrections, then you can go ahead and cut it. So the front is single, so I'm gonna cut only one. Use the stitchings as your guideline, as your grain line. Okay? Again, we have notches in here, but you do not cut them on the batting.
So we have to mark them?
Huh?
We
No.
should mark them?
No. Not at all. This is just for reference. Now, for the sides, we need 2. So we can fold it and cut one, fold it, it will be 2. Unless you want to cut one and cut another. Right? It's up to you. But we need only one. So, yeah, we can have the pattern pieces right next to each other. We don't have to waste material. So after I cut this, let's stop the video because I need to go get a needle. I don't have one here. Mine magically disappeared. I might have used it and left it somewhere. And I'm gonna show you, this have a special technique on how to sew it. And we're gonna print the dress form and that's it. So if this, I put it like this, again, I'm using the grain line. It fits right there, no? Don't pick it, lady. Yep, that fits. Yep, this is called fashion economics. You have enough for both cups. Because actually I use the smallest piece from the pile.
Oh yeah. Red magic.
Now be careful because here I have a point on the neckline. So it's very easy to recognize what's the top and the bottom. If you don't have something as obvious like that, you might be easily turn it upside down and your cup is not gonna fit. You're gonna see that it's too wide at the bottom and too narrow at the top or vice versa. And it could be that one of the pieces is upside down. That's why you always have to work with your pattern because if you ever have any questions, you can go refer to the pattern. Okay? So if I need to sew this, my cup is gonna look like this. Yeah? Pretty? Okay. By the way, this is the pattern. You want to